It's Mr. Box Office, the main event, the professor of truth and entertainment, the ratings killer. And if you don't know, you need to get to know. And welcome. And welcome to Box Office City with Mr. Box Office himself, your host. And yes, he's back. Back. I've got to admit it to everyone. I've got to admit it to everyone right now. I wasn't sure about going live today. And the reason why is, it's not because of anybody else, because let's be honest here, I ain't going nowhere. Let's just say that absolutely fine. Because I think what Will said on one show, he said, I'm absolutely embarrassing myself on shows. Oh, that's funny, because he's embarrassing himself with his stats. But anyway, moving on. Big up to him, by the way. But just need to say this. I need to refresh, reset, restart. And when I mean refresh, reset, restart, it means refresh, reset, restart the mind, the body, and soul. And that's not because of Tottenham Hotspur. That's just because there's a summer coming along and we need to enjoy it. And that's it. So that's why I've not been on the stream for quite a while. Because while I've been doing that, I've been refreshing, reset, and restarting. Refreshing the mind and body. Because like I said before, it's all about enjoyment of life. That's what they say sometimes. Well, that's for Alex. But Mr. Box Office, it's about telling the truth, talking the truth. And that's what we're going to be doing on this show. Because like I said before, to loads of people already, I know what I feel about my club. I know what I feel about Tottenham Hotspur. I know this is not a team that is great, plays good football, still not convinced. I hear a lot of people now talking about revenues, behind the scenes. And I sat there and thought, I didn't know I was talking about a football club, a financial club. I didn't realize I was talking about a revenue, a company that was making lots of profits. I thought I was supposed to be supporting a football club. But ever since this FFP and everything else around it, all I'm hearing is, oh, we've got the best revenues going, we've got the best profit going, Daniel Levy's an absolute hero. And I'm sitting there thinking, great, you've done your job. Great, mate. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. But nothing about the football. Nothing about the football, which is what we go and watch matches for. By the way, I just want to dedicate this show to one guy. He's a Man United fan. A Man United fan that had the cheek to say something to me. He's actually a decent guy. And when he gets to know Alex, you'll actually get to know him. Neeks. Big up to you, Neeks. Saying that I've never been happy about Tottenham Hotspur. Wonder why. Because I mean, they're telling me to be happy. Yeah, be happy. I'll be happy when I see my team do something this season, yeah? I'll be happy when they do consistency, yeah? Have consistency about them, yeah? And I'll be happy, which is what I'm going to talk about, what's on the show today. I'll be happy when Tottenham Hotspur fans don't go over the top about players and defend average players. For instance, what's the number one subject? Timo Werner. I wonder why I'm talking about Timo Werner, Tottenham fans. I wonder why. Because it's quite interesting that some of the things that I heard about Timo Werner. And let's talk about number two. Number two. Johnson. Brennan Johnson. Let's talk about him. Because a lot of Tottenham fans have got a lot to say about him. Oh, yeah. 2 signings, by the way, that were Angie's signings, by the way. Yeah? Everyone's criticising it, saying, "Oh, this is terrible. It's a terrible signing." But those are Ange's signings, by the way. He said he wanted those signings. So I don't know where we're going with this. And number 3, can Tottenham Hotspur resurrect their top 4 hopes? Spoiler alert, Mr. Box Office doesn't care, but we're going to talk about it and that's it. Let's get into it and that's it. And number 4, I mean. Sorry, I can't even count. Sorry about that. Yeah. They'll start clipping that as well, won't they? And number 4, we'll talk about the transfer window. I was quite looking for. I actually was going to do another show on a transfer window, but like I said, I don't twerk for transfers anymore, and it's, to be honest with you, so boring. And I tell you what, one saga that has really got me a go is going to be on that transfer window talk as well. So we'll get into that a little bit further. Yes. And number 5, any questions you have in the question in the chat, we'll go and talk about it. So if you have any questions in the chat, put a Q in the Q box. I'll star it and I'll answer it at the end of the show. So that's all on the show today. This is going to be a shit-shot show because it's very late. I do apologise for that. But like I said, I had to refresh, reset, restart. And that's it. A little story before I go on to my first subject. Alice has started working out and refreshing. Because, like I said, I need to refresh the mind, the body and soul. Because it's good for the mental health, like they say. Because, like I said, you have to refresh yourself. Because in the very difficult world we live in, especially in the area I live in, and I don't really care what anybody else says, it's not the most easiest area to live in as well, because you can feel like you're nobody in this area. I can tell you that for a fact. And don't take it personally, but that's how it is when you're single, a single man, a single gentleman. You can feel like you're very alone, and that's it. You need something to motivate you. You need something to make you realize, don't tap out in life. Never tap out. Never give up. Always keep yourself going. Don't ever stop. And that's what I've learned. Because what I learned from being a Tottenham fan is, we've got to be nice to players now. We've got to be thoughtful to people. We've got to be really thoughtful for people, because we've got to think about what they're going through and what they're going through. But sometimes to get through to the great things, you've got to really go through the hard times to get through to the great things. So sometimes you just got to not stop. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Because if you stop, you're giving up. You don't ever tap out. You don't ever let anybody don't ever tell you to stop and stop your dreams. Never ever tell you to stop doing your dreams. Never. Yeah, if you believe in something, you keep on going. You keep on going until you know it's not for you, and that's it. And you only stop because you feel like you want to stop, and that's it. But when I see some of the players today, yeah, they've got a dream, but they don't dream hard enough to be the best. And that's why I need to talk about Timo Werner. Because what I was hearing from Tottenham fans was pathetic. We were pathetic against Man City. Absolutely pathetic. When people were telling me, and I said straight up from the bat, I said to people straight up from the bat, I said, do you think we're good? I couldn't call it. Could not call that game against Man City. Because 2 weeks ago, I told you we didn't play well against Manchester United. The only player that played well was Bentancur, and he went missing against Man City. And everyone was telling me this guy, yes, he's going to revolutionise our team. So what did he do? The problem wasn't the defence. I'll give the defence credit. They kept themselves strong. They kept themselves strong, yes. Van der Ven played very well. Can't lie. What I watched, he defended brilliantly. I had Ben next to me. Ben had next to me, Alex, and he was just telling Alex, saying, yeah, he's playing well. He kept on singing the Van der Ven song. And you know what Ben's like from We Are Tottenham TV. You know exactly what he's like. And Van der Ven was very, very good. If Van der Ven wasn't on form, we would have let in more goals because he was last minute, always there, challenging back, and that was it. Problem was, when we go up the field, there was just nothing up front. And all I was hearing from Tottenham fans, this is one thing that I heard from Josh from We Are Tottenham TV when he was doing the watch along. Again, classic Josh, who's ironically says he's negative, which funny that because Mr. Box Office has been called negative these days. Says, oh, Werner made some great runs, found some fantastic runs. I was like, really? I didn't see it. And if he did see it, it didn't affect the game, didn't it? Oh, didn't pass to him, though. Didn't pass to him. Well, maybe you need to make yourself known, mate. Maybe you need to make yourself known then. Maybe you need to shout at your teammates and say, I'm making a good run. Give me the ball. Maybe you need something in you to say, I'm the guy. Give me the ball and then I'll score. Maybe you need to do that. But you don't do that. It's like what I said in my post. Have these strikers got it in them to do what they need to do to really make themselves top strikers, top attacking players? And at the moment, no. And definitely you can't say that about Timo Werner. I mean, if he was playing for Chelsea and did the same thing for Chelsea, would you say the same thing, Tottenham fans? And the answer would be no. It wouldn't be. It just would be no. So why the hell are we talking like saying, oh, we can't have a go at Werner because Werner made some very good runs in the box. Yeah, very good runs. Yeah, very good runs. You've got to do better. And this is what I'm talking about. The bar is so low for Tottenham players. That's why we treasure people like Van der Ven, Romero, Udogie. And when it really gets to the crunch, next season, are they going to get better? And the answer is no. We don't know. Again, another person I need to talk about that's a Tottenham fan that goes on last word on Spurs. Patrick. Big up to him, bro. Big up to him. But he says to me, oh, well, Alex, Mr. Box Office, you're so negative. You're so negative. You're always negative about the team. You're always negative about players. Why? Why can you change your tune? It's like Sean saying to me I shouldn't go on shows because I say the same thing. But anyway, let's move on from Spurs Talk Show. And by the way, I love to clip all these things because I'll tell you what, I was tempted to clip some of these things that these people were saying. Yeah, and these are the same people that when it doesn't work out, you watch them jump on the bandwagon straight away. Yeah, watch them start criticizing our players and Ange Postecoglou, saying, "Oh, you know what? He did something wrong there. I don't think he can do anything right now. I don't think he can do it." But when it's all going right, oh yeah, I'm on the definitely, yes. This is the problem I have. When it's you can't criticize them when you can't look at it critically when they win, but when they lose, you can't get too overcritical, can you? As a Tottenham fan. And you wonder why we don't win anything. You wonder why. Because we've just not got the cojones, and that's it. And that shows you with Werner. Absolutely shows you with Werner. Now, he could go tomorrow and score a couple of goals. 110% could score a couple of goals. You see what Tottenham fans will say? Oh, look at that. He's proved everybody wrong after 2 games. He's proved everybody wrong after 2 games. You can see it. You can see it. The problem is with Tottenham fans right now, right? We do this all the time. We do this all the bloody time. Is that when we're linked with somebody, we try and convince other people this is a great signing. And we did this with Werner. We're doing this with Werner right now. And I think for me, at the moment, I sit by what I said in my video a couple of videos ago. A couple of videos ago. I would never sign. I will not sign him, even if he does well. I would not sign him permanently. I would not do it. I would put him on. I would do a year loan. If you really are desperate for him, give him a year loan and give him incentives to see how good he will get. Because I think people completely forget this guy is, I think he's 27 years old, 26, 27 years old. He ain't a young player. He's supposed to be at his peak. I mean, I'm looking at players like, I'm just trying to get just do a search on the strikers that we've got at the moment. Just look at the team and look at their ages. So right now, first one, Timo Werner. Let's meet Timo Werner. How old is he? How old is Timo Werner? Age-wise. Let me see how old he is. Age. Because this just sums up how he is at the moment. 27 years old. You're 27 years old, and we're saying to people, "Oh, you need to give him time. He needs to settle in. He needs to do this." This is a 27-year-old footballer now that's been doing this for how long now? He knows the standard already. He'd been at Chelsea, where he struggled to get into that team. They sold him back to Germany because he flopped. So why are we saying that he needs time? He needs to hit the ground running. At 27 years old, that's what you expect to hit the ground running. Especially when you go to a job. You know these temporary jobs that you go to these days. And Alex knows this because he has to do this for his day job. And he's you go into a job, they don't give you a couple of days to get used to it. Let's say, okay, first day, okay, you get to know your work colleagues. Next day, you got to kick on the job. Kick on with the job. And if you're useless, they get rid of you. What people will say to that is saying, well, football's completely different to that. But it's like, well, look at the investment you're making on this player. And that's it. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I don't understand the excuses that we are making for Timo Werner. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yes, he may have made some good runs, but he wasn't effective enough. And we should not give credit because he made some good runs. You know, I'm sorry, that's just not the way it goes. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that. We need more. And if we want to go on to subject number 2, Johnson, we need more. But I don't understand the uproar with him. Again, that's an signing. You all said this was going to be a long thing. Yes, you can look at it, £50 million, waste the money, yes. But this was the plan that they decided to make when they got Johnson in. We all said this was a build this season. Maybe we should have looked better further afield for a winger that had more qualities. We should have scouted better. Maybe in the Championship, be more clever with our searches. Maybe we should have done that. But at the moment, we've just got Johnson, we've got Gill, we've got Solomon, who's injured, but I think he's coming back. We've got Kulu, but we all know that he's not a winger. It's just for me, it's not. It isn't looking good, and I'll tell you now. My feeling when I was in the stadium on Friday, it's just I just don't feel excited. They don't get me off my seat. None of them do, to be honest with you. I mean, if you really have to put it far, if you really want me to pick somebody, it would be Son, yes. But you know, there's only so many times you can say Son now because he's getting older now. So you know, there needs to be some development into other players that are going to, take their places and compete with them. And at the moment, I don't see it at the moment. And for me, that's the most important position, really, at the moment. Yes, defense is important as well because you don't want to let in goals, but you need to score goals. Goals scored change games, and that's it. I mean, look at what's happened with Crystal Palace today. They won the game 3-2 because of Eze and Elise. Now, I know they're very good players. The problem I have with those two players is that they're not consistent enough. They don't play enough. They're always injured, or they're not always consistently scoring. And you know that determines you to be a great player, a good player, to one of the greats if you're consistent enough. And the consistency, unfortunately, in the Premier League, this is why I say it's a bang average league, is not very good. It's not very good at all. And I feel, for me, it sums up the whole thing with Timo Werner. I mean, the fact that someone's them clutching at straws saying that he only made some good runs is really not good. I can give credit to the defence because they're doing their job and at least did affect the game by keeping Man City out. But I can't give someone credit for making good runs and they weren't effective enough and we didn't score any goals. And if we really want to go there about a stat, we didn't make any inroads in terms of any shots at their goal, which again is shameful, absolutely shameful. And it's not great, and I just feel that we tapped out. And you can say whatever you want about quality, but you can show fight. You can show fight, you can show effort, you can show a little bit of nous about you, resilience. And for me, we just didn't do that. I mean, so for me, to sum up the whole thing with Timo Werner, why are we going over the top? Why are we excusing players for just doing too little and just accepting it? Like I said, the Alex's gym instructor saying, don't ever tap out, never ever give up. Why is it we're accepting this as good enough for Tottenham Hotspur? We should never do that. We should never accept, but that sort of thing. We should never accept that sort of thing. And I think it's just becoming a situation where we accept it because, well, we're trying to be good people and trying to be nice people. Now, if you feel the way you feel, that's fine. That's fine. But don't push it on anybody else, because you're not pushing it on me. I've told you why I can't accept this. It's exactly why I can't just back what I'm backing at the moment. The fact and the fact of the matter is as well is that with the whole thing with Timo Werner, now the attention now on Brennan Johnson now, and it's quite interesting the contrast between the two. You got Brennan Johnson that we brought in, and everyone seems to be completely, well, they just want him gone. He's done, as far as from the fan base. And then Timo Werner gets a free pass. We have the same energy for all our players. Because if this is a team game, well, the team didn't do well at all, didn't they? They were absolutely awful. Didn't show any energy. We let Man City completely. We got overwhelmed by the situation, the occasion, and let's be honest here. Everyone bigs up Big Ange. He didn't step up either, and the excuses I get is, well, Maddison's not back yet. I mean, I've seen stuff on Tottenham away. Big up to Stell. And it's like on that day, on that night when they did that stream, people are making excuses after excuses after excuses for our players. And I just got to a point where I was sitting there thinking, really? Making excuses. Well, criticising Johnson, saying he's absolute rubbish, but making excuses. But you know, we could win against Brentford, and it'd be all okay again. That's the way it is in football. You win. You know, even though we've not won a trophy this season, which people were hoping for, and there was lots of mad scores against Man City that were mad scores, absolutely mad scores that were coming out of Tottenham Hotspur fans about the game against Man City last week, and we didn't hit any. You know, we didn't achieve the expectations of the fans. That's what we didn't do. And that just sums up why I can't back this at the moment. I need time, and that's it. There's so many things that are just not right here, and for me, like I just think there's disproportionate of criticism for Johnson at the moment, and I think there should be more criticism around players that are not who have shown who supposedly are class in our team and not stepping up in the big games, and that's it for me. I think that should be a criticism for the players that are supposed to be our star players. Now, I know that people will say Sar's coming back now, and that's the main player now that makes our midfield tick. Cool, that's fine, but then do we need Sar all the time now to make us play the right way that we want to play? That's a bit worrying, isn't it? For a young player, to put that pressure on that young player to become that man, that crucial guy to make us tick. I don't know. I think it's quite interesting, to be honest with you, and I think everybody needs to look at you know, I mean, someone's just put something in the chat saying, big up to them, Maiden, saying, do you rate Johnson? Not really, no, but I'm not going to go over the top about it, no. Like I said before, this is Ange signing, you know, and so, you know, I said that this is going to be up and down, and that's it, so I accept it, that's it. I don't jump on bandwagons what other fans are going to do. was going to say, because even if you take Johnson out of the team, I don't think it makes the attacking team better. I don't think you do. I don't rate Gill. Sorry, I just don't rate Gill at all. I think Gill needs to leave, but it's interesting now Brighton are interested in him. So I don't know. I don't know how we do this at the moment. But at the moment, that front three just haven't got any chemistry whatsoever. I don't think it has any chemistry whatsoever, and that's what's concerning me at the moment. You know, it's a side that isn't impressive at the moment for me at the moment, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know at the moment. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure at the moment. The strike force is just not. It's not impressing me at the moment. It's just not happening at the moment. And I think at the moment we're going to have a lot. We're going to have to improve that in the summer, because, like I said, that's going to be a problem for next season, because teams are going to improve next season. If you think that things are going to be easy, if it was easy for Tottenham to recover from this season, from last season, I mean, to become what we are now, and I don't think we're playing very well. Let's be honest here. I think we played better early part of the season in terms of the football. We did get lucky. Let's be honest here as well. But I don't think that football's really there anymore. Let's be honest here. I don't think the football's there anymore. Yeah, it's in spells, but there's not a lot of it now. And that was clear to see against Manchester City. Yes, people will say Man City are a very good team. Understandable. And they should be up chasing for the championship now this season. Now with obviously Liverpool. But yeah, it's a bit worrying, isn't it? It's very worrying, and I think that's the concern for me, the attack, because I'm not convinced by Kulu. Kulu was absolute rubbish against Man City as well. Very disappointing. Maddison was clearly not fit, clearly, and someone said to me that he's been training for 2 weeks. Well, it's obviously it wasn't good. It wasn't enough for him, wasn't it? So. And it highlights the whole thing about us as a squad. We don't have players that compete with each other, and that's why I had the argument with whole thing with Emerson Royale. Emerson Royale is now looked as a hero because he played well in a few games, which I don't think he did. But can he compete with Van der Ven? No. Can he compete with Porro? No. Can he compete with Romero? No. So why we got him in the team for? Oh, we don't want to sell him though because we can't find someone better than Emerson. Why? If you can't find someone better than Emerson, I'll be worried. Someone that can play football and can defend at a certain level, and you can't find anybody like him. We found Jagusin, didn't we? Who can play right back and centre back as well. He's competent, it looks like. So why can we not use him? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But again, this is the thing. We've got these expectations up here. You know what I mean? And that's it. I think certain players do work well together as well. I think it does come down to that as well. It's interesting to see how our players connect with each other. I mean, it was. I mean, admittedly, one thing I will say, I wasn't too disappointed with the lineup. With the players that we had available, now I need to get the team up right now. This is going to be impromptu, guys. So I just need to warn you, it is very impromptu today. Not really that much preparation. Just me talking, just saying how I feel, which is what I'm going to do more of, to be honest with you. Like I said before, you know, life gets involved. Life gets well, life gets the better of you sometimes, and unfortunately, these things are going to be less prepared and more impromptu and more off the cuff sort of streams, where I'm just going to say what I feel and that's it. So if you want to keep the ride going and keep liking and subscribing as well, because I'm near to 1,000 subscribers, it'd be nice if anybody can share the stream with anybody as well, because I like to get to, I think I'm 60 away. Well, actually, no, I think I'm now quite a few things away now to 1,000 subscribers. It'd be really nice. It'd be a good achievement as well. But let's get back into the team at Manchester United. For me, I did look like the lineup. I've got to be honest. I had no qualms with Romero and Van der Ven being in the team because I've had a few, training, few weeks training. Udogie has played very well, and to be honest, it did play good against Man City. I think he was one of the good players as well. He did make a few mistakes, but I can't really fault him. Porro in defence was all right. Vicario didn't really have that much to do in that sense. He had a few saves, but they were easy saves, I think. He should have done better for the goal. Definitely. Kulusevski was playing in his position that I thought number 10. Just didn't do anything. It just was really disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And I don't know. Since that Nottingham Forest game, I've not been impressed with him. I've just not been impressed with him at all. And I don't think he played. I don't think he was that absolutely fantastic either. I mean, they said that I don't know what the quote of what he did against Nottingham Forest, but the game of his life, I was hearing. Unplayable. That was it. And since then, and I don't think he was unplayable at all. I think he just said two things, and that was it. So, but it's disappointing for me because I think he could have left a marker for me, being in that number 10 role, and he hasn't done it. He hasn't got better, and that's concerning for me. I've got to be honest. I mean, there are worse players. I mean, if you look at Man United, gosh, don't get me started with that. Oh gosh, with Rashford. But I think there's also a human side to this as well. I've got to be honest. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I think for me, Timo Werner, and Johnson. Let's be honest, Richarlison as well. Richarlison. Oh, again, people making excuses for him as well. I mean, the bar is so low. So low. So low. And I just don't get it. I do not get it. With what we put with these players. It just... And then when they do well, it's like, oh, they're really good. Oh, you should have backed him. You should back Richarlison. Why? The only reason why he's in that Brazil squad because they've got nobody else. I mean, what do you expect? I don't get it. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I'll get on to the next subject soon, but I need to say some big ups to some people. Big up to you, Scott. Big up to you, Scott. Big up to you, Ryan G. Big up to you. Big up to the support. Big up to you, Wayne Hennessy. Big up to you. Big up to you, Cooler Chill. Thank you. Big up to you. Big up to you, Francis Parker. Big up to you, Monty. Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to you, San Antonio. And San Antonio's Hotspur. Big up to you. Who else is there? Big up to you, Dunbar. Big up to you. Well, yeah, you know what? I've seen more funnier things. I've seen more funnier things. I've got to be honest. Big up to you, Ridian. I saw your comment. Big up to you. Big up to you, Mahai Hotspur. Big up to you. Thank you for watching. Big up to you. Big up to you. Distinction. Disintegration. What a name. Big up to you. 2 games in for Werner. I don't think we could gonna be goal scorer, but more of an assister. Yeah, I think that he did assist against Man United, didn't he? He did. Which was quite good. You know, I mean, big up to him anyway. But he did do that. But again, I don't know really what else to say, really. Yeah, I just don't know really what else to say with that, really, because I think it's more Bentancur, really. I mean, Bentancur made a really good run, and I think he made that goal for me. He just made that goal for me. I just thought he was really, really good. I think that was it for me. But you know, it is what it is, isn't it? Like I said, I think one of the comments made a very good comment there. You know, he might end up being a hat trick. Might end up scoring a hat trick, Werner, against Brentford. You know how it is with players now. You know, they find a way. They always find a way, don't they? And then they're the best thing since sliced bread, aren't they? You know, and that's it. But it is what it is, like they say. It is what it is, what they say. But to go on to the next subject, and because I've mixed the two, Johnson and Werner, Timo Werner, we'll go on to the third subject, which is, can Tottenham Hotspur get back into the top 4? I'm being honest with you. I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered. I really am not that bothered if we get top 4 or not. I've got to be honest. And I don't care about the money, because then you get stupid things like talking about revenues and all that. That I can't. I don't want to do. I don't want to swear because I can't do it. But all that BS, and it makes me realise that we're not really looking at wanting to win. You know, and this is the thing. It's all good doing this great football, beautiful football. Achieve that. Do all that. Get top 4. Go to the Champions League. Playing the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. You know, another team from somewhere else, and then don't achieve anything. You know, and I just think we're going through a cycle. And no one's telling me that we can repeat the same thing next season. When we can't even cope with this season, when we only had 2 cup competitions, which were both out now. And now we've just got the league, and that's it. What did we want? I just don't get it. I just don't get it, really. But I do think we are in a. I do think we are in a title race. I do think we are in the title. No, sorry. So just to correct it, it's getting late in the UK. So do bear with me. Just bear with me. But I do think we are still in this top 4 race. If we have to talk about it, we are still in this top 4 race, definitely. And you know, it is a race. I mean, Aston Villa lost today, so this is a good opportunity to overtake them, to catch up with them in terms of points. So that'd be interesting to see if we can do that. And I think we've got a very, very good chance of beating Brentford. I've got to be honest. I actually am very confident we're beating Brentford. I understand that Ivan Toney's back, but I think the only thing that I would be concerned about with Brentford is their set pieces. That's what I would be very concerned about, because I don't think we're very strong aerially, defensively. I don't think we are. Van der Ven struggles, which is and Vicario. You can see that they've got a way. Somehow, I think people have started to figure out a way of trying to unsettle Vicario in goal, especially through corners and free kicks. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. It's one of those things. It's just one of those things, I think, at the moment. And I don't know. We have to wait and see what happens. But I do feel that this is going to be we've got I think we've got all the tools to do something against Brentford and take our opportunity to catch up with the top four. And then you got Everton next, and I think that's again another game that we should be looking to win, and that's it. But looking at this game, I think this is a good opportunity for us to get up to the top four. I think we definitely got more opportunity to do that. Definitely. Whether I'm bothered about that, no, I'm not bothered about it at all. No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. But it's an opportunity for us, definitely, to get into that top four, and try and push on. And that's it for me. Arsenal won today, 2-1 against Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa again, like I said, lost today. Newcastle got back into form again. So overall, pretty open at the moment. League very open at the moment. And we there are opportunities out there for us to take it, and that's it. Injuries are going to be crucial as well, and it will happen again. I think, unfortunately, injuries are always going to happen, especially in an intense time now. We've still got another international break as well, with friendlies coming up as well, and with the European competition coming back again. There's going to be more. There's going to be more injuries. There's going to be more twists and turns, and that's it. It's going to be interesting, very interesting, and that's it for me. The interesting thing for me will be are we going to still see that beautiful football again? Well, I don't know about beautiful football, but seeing the football that we were playing in the beginning of the season again, because I think that's just completely gone. But I think with the likes of Maddison coming back, Saga coming back, that might be where we will see more the football that we were playing earlier in the season, especially with someone like Maddison. But again, I think down to fitness, I don't know whether he's fit enough to do what he did earlier in the season as well. I don't know. I'm not too sure. It's going to be interesting anyway. Very interesting to see what happens. Still a lot of twists and turns. I think Liverpool are playing Arsenal at the weekend as well. And I think also looking at the fixtures, which I'm going to have a look at the fixtures now. Let me have a look at the fixtures now. Let me put that up for you. Well, I'm not going to get it up for you guys, but I'm just going to get it up for the fixtures. A bit. Please like and subscribe to the Mr. Box Office TV. Like I said, we're nearly up to 1,000 subscribers. If you can help the channel grow, it'd be really appreciated. And that's all I ask, really. That's all I ask. You're getting Mr. Box Office personally on his own, with no one to debate with. To be honest, I should do more of this. To be honest, like I said, I need to just do this off the cuff if I'm really fed up with something. I'm fed up with something, and that's it. It's interesting actually. Now I'm looking at something at the moment, and it's quite interesting seeing De Zerbi. They're now starting to say that he's not won in how many games now. It's interesting now. This is how it is, the Premier League. You have a few bad games, and then everyone starts questioning you now. It's just fascinating. You just see it coming. You can just see it coming. Honestly, blood. Oh my gosh, it's just really pathetic. There's no long term anything these days. You can't lose it. You can't lose 2 or 3 games now, because then you're starting losing. You could be in trouble with your job. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And no wonder managers just up and leave and go somewhere else, because I sit there and say, well, if you're going to sack me first, I'll run first. That's it. Simple as that. It's just ridiculous. That's why I say it's bang average. You know what I mean? Well, it's more about the managers now, isn't it? Let's be honest here. You might have a transfer window for the managers as well, to be honest. It's just ridiculous, honestly. I don't even know what to say on it, really. But looking at the fixtures tomorrow, Man City, Burnley, obviously Tottenham, Brentford. Then we've got Liverpool versus Chelsea at 8:15. And then you have West Ham, Bournemouth on the Thursday, and then Wolves, Manchester United at 8:15. Tottenham will be playing Everton on the 3rd at 12:30, the lunchtime game as well. And looking at the fixtures ahead of that, after that, one of the interesting games of the weekend will be Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates. So very interesting games coming up soon, and it's getting a bit tasty now, especially with where we're heading towards the crucial time of the season, where really this is where you really want to start getting your form up. And with the transfer window coming to an end now, it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the transfer window. Not that I'm bothered about the transfer window anyway, which is a good segue to my fourth subject, transfer window. And I just want to talk about I just want to talk about this. I do think this transfer window turns into WWE. I've got to be honest. I don't think the thing is the whole thing with Nusa. Honestly, he's just a young player. He's just a young player that's just started out. He's not even playing. And the way everyone's making a fuss about him, what is going on? He's 18 years old. I mean, if I was 18 years old and I was getting fussed about like that, I would love it. I mean, I don't think that. I think everyone's sitting there saying he must be thinking that he's getting his Christmas, birthdays, and everything at once. Because ever since we were linked with him, then you're hearing Tottenham fans saying, Tottenham sources saying, we all really want him. We really want this player. We really need him. We really need this player right now. And I'm like, really? Okay, cool. He looks good. He looks good. I will say that. He did look good. He looked like he's got a good touch on him. He's he definitely looks to dribble past players, and he's not afraid to do it. He can play on the left and right. I think he can. He looked impressive. But then we get beaten by Brentford for the signing. And then all this hoo-ha about it, saying it's medical, they're worried about his injuries, his knee, I think it is. I mean, these sort of sagas, I just sit there and say, you can just see it coming. It's not like it's not. I don't even think it's that great. I don't know what the big deal is, to be honest with you. I just think sometimes it's just like, well, if you're going to sign the player, sign the player. If you don't want to sign the player, don't sign the player. Simple. But I just think this is all this storyline. Oh, this player. His representatives are unsure. Oh, it's going to be off now. Oh, just to make it drama. It when he comes in, I bet the player doesn't do anything, and all that fuss before the transfer is actually completed. You're sitting there saying, "What's all that fuss about? What's all that fuss about?" I don't know what all that fuss about with that player. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. This is the thing. You- I just think sometimes we over hype things about certain players. I mean, yeah, you can have a prospect. That's cool, but I don't think we should make a big deal about it. To be honest with you, there's one player it reminds me of last season, and it just sums up why I can't get excited about players anymore, because you just get you just get fed up with just seeing some of the stuff that you see. It's just you can see it coming. You can just see it coming. I can't remember the player at the top of my head now, but it shows you how late it is at the moment. To be honest with you, one of the reasons why I might have to wrap it up soon, because I mean, unfortunately, Alex has got to go to bed soon. Unfortunately, which teaches Alex a lesson to be more on time. Let's be honest here, more on time. Something that's Rashford needs to be doing right now. But anyway, moving on. Sorry, that was just a bad joke. Anyway, again, Mr. Box Office at the wheel again. But you know, at the end of the day, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you know, I just think at the moment, you know, and yeah, yes, I know. Tottenham away. Yes, I do need to. And it is bedtime. It is bedtime for Mr. Box Office. Yeah, it should be Mr. Box Office time for bedtime. Yeah, definitely. Um, if that's still, yeah, it must be. Yeah, it might be definitely bedtime for Mr. Box Office. Yes. Um, but and also maybe bedtime for Gil as well, because Gil needs to go, needs to leave, and maybe take Emerson with you as well, Emerson Royale, you know, so we can get a better player, you know, not even a better player, just someone that can be more competent on the ball. Maybe that'd be a good one as well, to be honest. But yeah, I just don't know what the fuss is really. I just think it's an absolute. I think this is just an absolute joke, to be honest with you. And I mean, again, it leads me to another segue to another player that Tottenham Hotspur, um, that Tottenham Hotspur would like to buy possibly, and that's Conor Gallagher. Honestly, this shows you the quality of players have gone downhill like this. Phew! Phew! That's it. Right down. Because if you're telling me, big up to South Coys, by the way. Big up to South Coys, yeah? They had a Chelsea fan on, yeah? I actually like the guy because I think he's quite good. And he says, this guy's so good. He's quite, you know, because he works so hard. He runs and 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 runs. Okay. He runs. Who does that remind you of? A below average Ollie skip. That's what he does. A below average Ollie skip. So what we're doing is, rather than getting a quality player that's got some skill, I was going to call him below average Henderson, but let's just describe him as below average Ollie skip. And let's be honest here. And I think Marlon from South Ucoy summed it up perfectly. Who would I want in my midfield? Eric Dyer or Ollie Skip? And you know what Marlon said? Eric Dyer. And that's what you're telling me that you want in your midfield. Because Conor Gallacgher runs. That's what the world's coming to now. I'm mad. Yeah. And these the thing is though, these are people that tell me Mo Salah's not great. People tell me Mo Salah is not great. Put that in your head. When this guy has been more consistent than most players now. Because I'm still trying to find where Matoma is, by the way. Where's Matoma? Where's Matoma? Everyone waxed lyrical about Elise and Eze. Great players, but do they do that on the regular? Because they're always injured. But now we're saying we need a Gallagher because he works in the system. He works in the system. Please. Please. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I know what Tottenham fans are going to say. What if Ange wants him? We need him. It's a status quo from Tottenham fans, isn't it? The status quo. I'm now going to segue because I've got a few questions in the chat. A few questions in the chat, and I did star one because Stel, I think it's Stel from Tottenham Away, has asked me a question, and he says, "Would you start Brendan Johnson against Brentford? If not, who do you start? Right wing." Interesting question. Good question. Actually, you know what? I need to have a look at this because I've got no idea, to be honest with you. I've got absolutely no idea. So I need to look at the squad at the moment. Who's available at the moment? Who's available at the moment? At the moment, it's a difficult one now. I wouldn't play Brendan Johnson, no, because I think you need to take him back the firing line. I think you do, unfortunately, because if you don't, I think it don't look good, doesn't it? Yeah, I think you might have to. For me, so I'll take him out of the team. Who I will replace him with? Interesting question. There's not that many options, I've got to be honest. Okay, looking at this at the moment, I would play. This is such a difficult question now, to be honest with you. Only on the basis of his cameo against Man City, and I'm clutching at straws right now. Put Dane Scarlett there. Luckily, it's not my choice, but I think that's the only thing you can do at the moment. Actually, you know what? Actually, I'll scrap that because I mean I can't put Brian Gill there. I want him gone. I'll keep Johnson there because I don't think we've got any other option. Actually, no. You know what? I changed my mind. I'll put Kulusevski there because of default, and that's it. I've got to be honest. I've had to change my mind a couple of times because I don't like the three at all, to be honest with you. The only reason why I put Kulusevski there, I'm very sure that Maddison's going to play in the number 10 position against Brentford. I think that's the reason. So I think he's gonna go with he's going to go with Kulusevski on the right, Werner on the left, and I think Richarlison will definitely be there. So I think that's what I would go with. I wouldn't be happy. I don't want to put Kulusevski there, but there's no other option that we have. And for me, at the moment, if you look at it, he is one of our. I wouldn't say he's our best player. He's one of our players that we use in our first team that is consistent, and that's it. So I would say, yeah, to answer your question, I would have to play Kulu on the right by default. By default. Yeah, and I say that very nicely. By default. Yeah, because I don't think he should be there at all. But we've got no other options. Scarlett is just not ready. I would love to put, I would love to just play him, but I don't know. So yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Really. But yeah, Johnson on the right. No. Kulu on the right. Richarlison up front, and I say that with a sigh. And big up to Son because I think he got through. His South Korea got through his tie in his competition in the Asia Games, in Asia Cup. So big up to him and the South Korea. Yeah, so I'll play Kulu on the right, Richarlison in the middle, and Timo Werner on the left. And yeah, I've just got a big sigh saying that. To be honest with you, it's not exciting. And who's the mug that's going there tonight? Who's the mug? I might actually go to the gym actually, to be honest with you, because I think I need a workout before then, just so I can just get my workout, just in case it's so boring. But anyway, moving on. That's Alex. That's Alex talking now, rather than Mr. Box Office. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I hopefully answer your question still. I'll put Richarlison up front, Kulu on the right, and Timo Werner on the left. Not exciting. I'm not jumping up and down about it, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and that's it. But big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody. Big up to everybody in the chat. Thank you for supporting. I know it's very late. We're going to be wrapping up the show soon. I'm sorry it's short. But yeah, let me just answer some questions here because I did miss some questions here. Ryan asked me a question. Did you think that there was a foul on Vicario? No. I don't think there was. I don't think it was at all. I think it should have been more stronger, to be honest with you. I think goalkeepers get away with things a lot these days, I think, as well. So big up to you, Ryan G. Sure, I've always can do is score chances set up for them, play, and that isn't good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough at all, Scott. Big up to you, Scott M. Big up to you. Any other questions? Because I didn't miss it as well. Do you think we beat Man United on Thursday? Do you think we'll beat Man United on Thursday? No, Brentford on Thursday. I think we'll beat them. I think we will beat them. Just. But big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everybody in the chat. And please like, subscribe, and keep your notifications on when I go live. You're going to get more of this. Like I said before, I'm going to be more impromptu now. I'm just going to go live. I'm just going to go live and that's it. But yeah, big up to you still. But yeah, like I said, I'm wrapping up the show. Be out to everybody in the chat. You'll see more of this unleashing a little bit earlier now these days as well. It will be a little bit earlier because Miss Alex has got things to do in the morning. Got things to do. Can't be talking about football late in the night. It's too late. Way into Mr. Alex's bedtime, and that's it. You know, it's not good. Not good at all. You know, reality check from Mr. Box Office and reality check needs to set his time up, be more on time. That was my New Year's resolution. That didn't really work out, didn't it? In like 2 days. Terrible, isn't it? But anyway, moving on. But big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody who's watching. Big up to everybody who's liking and seeing. Big up to everybody that has supported. And like I said, please help me towards my goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers as well. Keep your notifications as well. And as we wrap up the show, like always, if you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.